Hello guys, welcome to the Chat TV podcast. Yo Chat, it's your girl Ayan.
Yeah, and your boy Jollof Kid.
Okay guys, so we know what's going on in South Africa, and we know that Donald Trump, what he was trying to do last time, it didn't just end there. So refugees are expected to come to the US soon. That's the topic. We're talking about that, and we are going to highlight Donald Trump, and we are going to correct the narrative Donald Trump has been pushing, because we are aware, we're not, stupid. We know what's up, guys. So yes, tune in with us, and thank you for joining. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your comment below. Okay?
Yeah. So what's going on then? So he's given like white Afrikaners refugee status to go back. So therefore they're
Yes, he
so
is.
they are there.
Donald Trump is something else, to be honest.
Trump. Sometimes sometimes I can get you with you, but sometimes man you do lose people, man.
You,
You know
you know,
what's up with like.
the thing is that Donald Trump continues to play it as if like it is the black Africans or the black South Africans, to change the story, to continue playing the racial factors, and or going around with it and not being direct.
But how can he play the race card
He is, though, because
when the race card cannot come in play
that's
when it comes to Afrikaners? We are not Afrikaners. Africa is Africans.
exactly.
So if you even change and you call yourself Afrikaner, that just says you don't belong to that land or that place. That's why you don't bear the same calling.
Yeah.
So how can you now call yourself or playing the race card when you came and occupy the place of somebody's place?
Exactly.
And now you feel like you're the oppressed one.
And Donald Trump is putting it as if they were the victims.
Yeah, like they're the oppressed one.
Exactly, of what transpired. They were the victims. And now they are facing these this racism, this discrimination. But then here is the truth. The majority of white South Africans in South Africa are living better than black South Africans. They still
Why would they want to go to America?
Exactly. Even themselves, they are saying we are happy here. We don't want to go to America, because they know the truth. They live better. Even when we apply for jobs, or when people apply for jobs, they get paid better. They don't face crime. They're it's so there is imbalance, or there is inequality still playing. If you go to places, you find some places black people are not allowed, only white people are allowed in those places. We have schools where they say it's schools for the white people and not for the black people.
I noticed that.
How is that proving Donald Trump's point? It just doesn't make sense.
For me also, you see, all of the certain problems South Africa is facing, I will blame the sitting government, because there's no way, yeah, we Africans will come to Europe and say, let's say, devices in Wilshire, it's ours, and none of you white people, the indigenous people, are not allowed here. How is that happening in South Africa?
Exactly.
In some area or one region or place called whatever the name is, no blacks are allowed.
Exactly. In Africa.
That is
South
the government.
Africa, where South Africans, black people, that's their land, but they have limitations still now. Even after apartheid, still now they have limitations. They cannot. If you take your child to a certain school, no, the hair must be this way because they are black, and the other hair is okay.
Yeah.
It's just
insane. That's the government, though. That's the government. But that also exposes lack of control of South Africa by South African, because in South Africa, if you're calling yourself Afrikaner, you're not South African. Because you are a foreigner, that's why you're calling yourself Afrikaner. You don't want to call yourself a foreigner. The term Afrikaner for me is a foreigner.
Exactly. Now, how does an Afrikaner live better than a South African in South Africa?
That's the government. Because the government is still apartheid. Is still the old system. Hasn't changed. Economically, like in the terms of economy, the South African economy is still controlled and run by the investors who created the economy before the black power happened. That was apartheid era. And that's still, those buildings, those institutions are still today running South African economy and still owned by them. So whoever is president have that challenge. You either go back to scrap number one, nationalize all of them.
Yeah.
Make them transform all of them to become a national institute than the few institute.
Yeah, so right now then we yet to see what the end really goal for Donald Trump to doing this, into portraying South Africans or black South Africans as, racist, and black South Africans as people who
Africans are very tolerant, If you look at the situation in South Africa, and like Africans are very tolerant, because at the end of the day, like you have a race invade your place, and they're the only one that's still there, or in every part of Africa, all of them have left. How comes the Belgium, wherever they came from, they decided they don't? That's kind of like the tolerance of Africans. Say, you know what, it's fine, it's okay, extend that olive leaf and we cool, but not deep underneath, underneath the belly. They're still controlling the economy of South Africa, and it's not controlled by South Africans. It's controlled by Afrikaners. It's controlled by foreigners, aka Afrikaners. And this is not a racist thing. This is not against traveling and become part of a community or part of a country. You know what I'm saying? But you cannot be part of that country and become controlling that country like it's your country, or you are part of that. You are not from. You are a foreigner. Just like I said, there is nowhere on anyhow us Africans can decide and say we are now migrated. We have let's say 500, 600,000 people, 1,500, because that number is a little number compared to Black South Africa.
Exactly.
They're the minority. How can the minority controlling an African country?
Exactly. They are the minority, and also as the minority that they are, yet I will say 2 out of 10 they are living poor, like black South Africans.
The ones in the ghettos and the ones in the slums.
It's just 2 out of 10.
Yeah, those
but
ones
the 8% or the 8, they are living better than the average black South African.
And that small percentage control 60 to 70% of the land.
Yeah, and guess what? This is what happens. Also, they all go to school, black South Africans, white South Africans. In universities, white people are not there. It's only black South Africans that go to universities. But when it comes to job acquisition, they get more jobs than black people. Black people need to struggle with finding jobs.
No. So why do they not go to university?
They don't go to university because like honestly, like
the ones with their parents who are better off, basically.
Yes.
But the poor ones will definitely need to be going to to get themselves here.
But also like universities, majority are more populated by black people. Yes, than white people.
So, is it the national university or the private, or even the private ones too?
Even the private ones too.
Okay.
No, but when you now get to a working sector or a working environment, you'll find that there's more white people in there than black people.
Yeah.
in the work environment, in
Yeah,
the work sector.
because the economy,
They
like,
don't go to universities. Yes, they even have better jobs. If you apply, sometimes you even have to change your name or your name and make yourself.
That's like when you're in Europe.
Exactly.
If your name rings certain ways, you probably will not be getting on an interview.
Yeah, they'll just put your CV away,
Yeah.
put your resume away.
So that's
But
what
why
it's a
are
European
you
system
going
then.
through that?
It's a European system in Africa.
Yeah, but why are you going through that when you are in your own country?
That's what I'm saying. Like that's the government failure. So
Then
that's why I think it rings or it echoes when some people would even dare to say Mandela did fail Black South Africa, but also on a like political standpoint of view, there was nothing he could do when it come. Sorry, I'm not gonna say there was nothing, but I would just say I would probably think when he became president and saw what was on the table, he had an up. He had this choice either to continue with the economy and try to get it better, or scrap it all, nationalize everything and get it hard. That will get European investors pulling out. That would have probably get most of them even leave the country.
Yes.
They won't have no power to be in the country or controlling the country, because it was that moment where it needed that energy. That energy was there. If he took that decision to say, you know what, the bank nationalize, gold reserve nationalize, resources nationalize. Sorry, the factories, the everything nationalize, and the land nationalize. Take it back. Yeah, that moment, that bold move,
Yeah.
like what happening right now in our time right now. In our time right now, these young African leaders, that's what they're doing.
Yeah, what
Once
they're
they took
doing.
over, they nationalize things, they take everything back. And that's forcing the ones controlling pulling out. Once you pull out, we don't need you anyway. We already have the impact of you. We take it from there, continue and develop.
Yes.
Compensation will happen, renegotiations will happen, deals will be changed. And if that happened, then I would think once they start threatening of pulling out, that would have give Mandela or the government leverage to now renegotiate the terms and conditions of what was going on.
Yes.
Okay,
right.
you invest in the bank, you own the bank, yeah, we're gonna nationalize it. This is your investment, this is what you're gonna be getting paid. You are now an investor, you don't own it. You get your dividends, you get your whatever share, whatever, but you don't control it.
Yeah.
It will control by the government.
Yes.
The, let's say, oil refinery or the gold refinery. Okay, this is it, yeah? It is under the government. This is what you're gonna renegotiate the deals.
Yes, basically. Yes.
Basically, get back power, get back control.
Yeah.
But I don't think he got control after becoming president.
Yeah.
He was just the face of the movement.
Yeah, just the face of the movement.
Yeah.
That's as well put.
And keep the peace, keep the transition going peacefully. It does. There was benefits. Blacks were allowed certain places. Things were easing up.
Yeah,
and it's crazy to even say blacks were allowed in their own continent, in their own country.
Exactly.
It's crazy. Even we're even saying it. But really that what ended up happening.
Yeah, yeah. It is like when they say that they came in, they took power and all of that, blacks were the victims of that. It's just crazy.
It's crazy.
How that is being put on as if like, no, they came in still.
Zimbabwe would be a good example with the taking back the land.
Rhodesia.
Yeah.
That
would be a good.
Rhodesia.
But you see, like I was saying, it will be a hard decision because you will either accept that you need to start from scratch without foreign aid.
Yeah. Yeah. However, though, Zimbabwe, they messed it up somewhere.
After he did that, took back the land, that's why they don't own the land there anymore. All the English were packed and deported. He took back the land. The vision was there. But we know what Mugabe, how it ended up unfolding and all that stuff.
Yes,
but
that's right.
That still now, that movement, that decision is the reason why there is not what you have in South Africa called Afrikaners.
Yeah, Zimbabwe is Zimbabwe.
It's Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we can say, okay, because of the poly resources, the investment, it took time. Development didn't happen, but that's not because of that. I will not say because of they pulled out the resources. It's because of bad government that end up happening. but it was the right
Yeah,
decision.
yeah, it was the right decision.
Yeah.
Just like what we're seeing with Burkina
Yeah.
Faso.
It
But
is
the
the right decision.
strategy was not so clear, and also Mugabe was quite old.
Yeah.
You know, it was not a young leader now
Yeah.
doing that. So might have been lot of things that he missed out
Yeah.
when he was busy strategizing and making that movement. But it was a very good decision because people of Zimbabwe got their land.
Yeah.
A lot of people were given their land.
Yeah.
You find every family they have a farm.
Yeah.
They own a farm, which
Yeah.
is very good.
Yeah.
But then again, yeah, things happened
Yeah.
the way things happened. Yeah, with South Africa, it's very sad. It's really bad because also, like here we are today, we're talking about Donald Trump and getting SA refugees.
Basically,
because-
their brother
Yeah, well,
or
he
their
said-
cousin.
he says African refugees, yeah, the victims.
I'm glad he is calling them refugees because you know why? They are foreigners they belong here.
Yeah.
So they are foreigners. So they are refugees. They need to be helped to come back.
Yes.
But they're not
victims.
using this language, refugees. Okay, if you are a refugee, which means you are a foreigner in somebody's land. So how can you claim to be running that country,
Yes.
owning their land?
Yes, because even themselves, they're not in it for the people, they're in for themselves.
Basically.
They don't care about
Yeah.
black South Africans or care about South Africans, no. They don't.
I think Malema might, but I think right now he's been there for a while and in people's faces they see him in law. So that energy kind of gone down, but the vision was there. The land has to be taken back, and that's empowerment. Once Burkina Faso took back the land, took back the economy from France and asked France out, that is development.
Yeah.
Because you know why? Their economy is now backed by their gold reserve. It's backed by the little resources they have. And it's not little resources because France was mining the gold and mining their uranium. These can back their economy and it's happening. And South Africa have resources. It just gotta take a bold decision.
That's true.
Nationalize everything.
South Africans have a lot of
Simple.
resources, have coal. We name them, have gold. They have a lot of resources, those guys. Yes.
And it has nothing against any foreigner living in Africa. But you are a foreigner. Because outside we living in Europe or in Asia, China, India, whatever, we are looked at as foreigners.
Exactly.
We are called immigrants. We are foreigners. So we cannot call you any other how because of what? You are in, even we spend 10 years here, yeah? We are dual citizens.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you live in 10 years in Africa, you are a dual citizen.
Yeah.
You are.
That's also.
You cannot claim to be all of it.
It's very important, but then they live 4 years, 5 years in the country, then they are South Africans. What the hell?
You have to know that you are a foreigner.
Yeah.
You know, it's simple. Whether you are there 5 years, 6 years, you are a foreigner. And you cannot start now running our economy. You can invest, you can be a good investor, you can be a good contributor to the economy of the country.
And you need to
Yes.
pay and pay and pay
Yes.
and pay and pay to be in that country.
You know what I mean?
You need to pay, just like how other Africans or other people have to pay to be in Europe, have to pay to be anywhere else, to be in America. The
This
visas,
is-
everything that
is
we
the
need to
government.
pay for.
The government
Yeah.
needs these policies.
It
We
should be
need to
the
have
same.
them. We need to have the same because they know. We've been telling them how we live here. So how are they not implementing policies on the foreigners back there? Whether skill work, okay, you have a set also. This is your condition. Investor, this is your condition. Student, this is your condition. Visitor, this is your condition. Whatever, this is your condition. Just as we are labeled here. If you come as a student, this is your condition. If you come as a skill work, we have a condition. If you come as a
It's different.
everything.
Everything is book.
Everything.
Everything is a book. It's
You know
all
what I'm saying?
different.
Now, if you
can't
become a
just
citizen,
do
though,
whatever.
if you become a
You can't
citizen,
just be
it's
free.
still fine.
Exactly.
By abiding the law, but not cutting corners. We cannot cut corners here. What
You
cut
can
corners?
just do for
You gotta get
whatever.
arrested. You gotta pay tax. So if you are there, pay tax.
Exactly.
The right tax.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And
You're
that
gonna
is
have a
what
tax
we
code.
need. We need that movement.
You know?
We need that movement. That movement is necessary. We need that movement.
This applies to all African countries.
And Africans need to stand up for themselves, do better for themselves, put themselves first, put themselves forward. That is it. That is what is going to shift the whole idea of over controlling Africans or over controlling, black Africans. That's going to shift the whole idea.
We can invite any type of investment because that's what drives the economy of a country, by the people and by foreigners. integration, like communities from Europe, Africa should be walking hand in hand. We cannot be now doing anything like being the one on the bottom taking it. No. It has to be respectful, mutual interest.
In your country.
If you cannot respect us, we don't have to do business with you.
That's it. That's it.
Imagine, yeah, at this point in Africa right now, yeah, like I'm surprised African leaders. Are you guys not listening to what this European language is talking about?
Yeah,
EU president came and say it. We will basically Africa is a backbone of their one prosperity, two security.
Yes, they say.
Why are you guys thinking that we are some chump?
Exactly. They're not
playing yourself and playing our futures for what? Like basically, they don't understand the language. It's a warfare language they're talking about. It's not like picking guns and but it's economic warfare. You can see what's going on in China, America, economic warfare, world trade, whatever you want to call it. We need to, as Africans, also nationalize our resources and claim the right price for our people. We don't have to be anywhere.
Yes.
If we go out here, we want to go out and chill.
Yes, you want to go out and chill.
Just how they come to Africa, enjoy our weather, enjoy our beaches, enjoy our good food,
not
everything.
To work hard.
When we come here,
not
we want to see, probably go to see, let's say Disney, go to see Paris, Monaco.
Yeah.
They are thingy, and that's it. We don't want to leave. Then we go home. You know what I'm saying? If you want to leave, fine. If you want to, because you can migrate, you can live anywhere. But African decisions right now, especially African leaders, it should be, and for the people.
Yeah,
it's 2025.
It's 2025.
It's right now like, come on, it's been insulted. That's why you get insulted when you go to that meeting, their conference, they insult you in your faces.
Exactly, because how many years? It feels so much like a disrespect to the whole.
You see, that's why I say earlier.
It's like
Trump, I can understand Trump sometimes. Especially when he called and insult African leaders.
Yes.
He said it to them. How can he respect them when they are not doing the right thing for their people?
Yes, yes.
Trump is not a politician. He's a businessman. He talked from a business point of view. And even with this Afrikaners thing, he's just igniting business moves.
Yes.
At the end of the day, yeah, he's starting to make sure the deal he's going to have with South Africa and South Africa for Afrikaners is going to better for Afrikaners in South Africa.
Yes, that's true.
He's just boiling up so that when they sit down now on the table now and negotiate Afrikaners issues and all that stuff, it will be more for betterment Afrikaners, more security for Afrikaners, make it so they're not touched, whatever they have there is secure.
That's
it has nothing to do with relationship. Yeah, it's just the lighting fire or the smoke. But at the end of it, it's for the betterment of them. And us, we just play around. Like, that's why he insulted them. They don't care for us at all.
No, they don't. They don't. Yeah, that's where we are. That's where we are.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's frustrating. You know, we're not complaining, but we are tired of seeing African leaders time and time and again failing, you know what I'm saying, to the point whereby now foreigners having more rights than Africans in Africa, aka South Africa. You know what I'm saying? AKA all of Africa, because you can be a Chinese businessman and you have nonsense leaders taking side over, you know what I'm saying, over the nationals or over the people, indigenous people, and like supporting or protecting more of these foreigners who are maybe have a business running in the country.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That was some point, even in some, like, you know, in the go to tourist areas. You're not allowed if you're a local people, if you don't, I understand because it's a business thing, but the beach is for the people.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we can be in the beach, but they're going to say, oh no, you're not allowed there because it's tourists.
Yeah, but
those concepts.
Exactly, but here, there's no way
there's
you're not
like
going to be allowed.
You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not going to be like that.
You go to any beach in here, everybody's equally go there.
Yeah, it's for the people.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not for the tourists.
Even their hotels are close by, restaurants are close by. They don't say this is for the it's for the people.
Yeah, it's for the people.
You know?
Why are you prioritizing the tourists? Why are you prioritizing
those
the
decisions?
foreigners?
Yeah.
Instead of the local people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that needs to end. That needs
Africans
to stop.
should be proud. You know what I'm saying? And I want to see young leaders running Africa making bold decisions. And we're not talking about discriminating anybody who's coming to invest, coming to live in Africa. But everybody, like we say in Europe, Africans, we know our places
You know
because
exactly.
it's been put into our faces 24/7.
You know,
You know what I'm saying?
you know your place.
No matter
You know
how
your
much money you
level.
have, how
You know
much
where you belong.
crazy intelligence you have, you will be accepted to a degree.
Yes,
And
to a
that's what you're gonna
certain
be.
degree.
You're not gonna
Exactly.
change the economy. You're not gonna change nothing of here. But how can you come from Africa, from somewhere else? You're running our economy. You're changing, telling us, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna be here, we're gonna be there.
Exactly.
And you are influencing
Exactly.
the
No,
nah,
man, our leaders,
that's
no, they need to do better. No, we
nah,
can't
that's
have this.
madness.
Not in 2025 again.
Nah.
We cannot have this.
We
No,
salute every African leader that's taking the lead,
properly.
prioritizing
Properly, yes.
your local people, your local interests, your national interests, and your national resources. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Putting your people first.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Ibrahim Tarawale, you know what I'm saying?
He's an example of
Yeah,
that.
he's a good
Yeah.
example, you know? So African leaders should be really, really, really be ashamed of themselves because we are ashamed. We are here, they're looking at us like, oh, yeah, Africa is this, Africa is that, Africa
Yeah.
is this and that.
You see
You know
how
what I'm saying?
Africa is
Like,
being
come on. You know?
colonized?
It's just unfortunate. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But Donald Trump is just Donald Trump at the end of the day. But the issue is still remains the same. Afrikaners cannot run South Africa. The
Yeah.
economy, it should be the other way around. Yeah, live and invest. Yeah, share, migrate, enjoy the continent, enjoy the country. Yeah, in peace and all that stuff. But you can't run our economy.
No.
You
no.
can't run the digital. You can't tell us where to be and where to go to in our country, in our continent. For what?
Exactly.
Who are you? We? Who are you? Like, are you joking me? Even local South African even accepted it, bro. I'm telling you, yeah. If I was living in South Africa, or if I was a South African, though that town they say no blacks allowed, I'm going in there.
Mm-hmm.
I am gonna go in there. You telling me are you joking me?
No, definitely. Like, yeah, that's what they do. They fight those things. But you will hear, like, okay, there's a town where they say no blacks are allowed. Then, of course, they put those in the news and, take it further. That's no, we cannot deal with this. No. Even the schools, those cases are always put, priority. That is it. So, yeah, the local people or the black South Africans, they really do respond better to those cases. But why are we even having such things?
Yeah.
Such things?
Why?
Why is somebody
in
feeling
2020 plus in Africa?
Why is somebody feeling like, no, this is our township, we don't allow any black people in here?
We don't allow the locals in here, basically. Foreigners telling us we don't allow locals in here.
Imagine.
Because there are a couple of stories, like a couple of situations back, like in Gambia, where their business premises, they act like the locals are shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Treating them like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, no, you can't, you're not gonna do that. In this day and era, you can't do that. We cannot have that. We cannot allow that. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, people chat. This is the problem we have, and yeah, we thought that, you know what I'm saying, it's a good topic to talk about, and as rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? Africans will be talking about African progress, African unity, African integration, African what to call it again, unity, and African, like, collaboration with the outside world in a manner and in a time where it is equally and it is respectfully beneficial mutually, like for both sides, basically 50-50. You know what I'm saying? These deals cannot be the way they used to be.
Yes.
So there's things we're gonna need from the other side. So there's things they need from us, and we know this. We know we are their bread. They need us for their security and their prosperity.
Yeah, we know
so why
these
is it deals
things.
are bad? Why are we having bad deals? This is the thing. We need to change that.
Yes.
Just do good business. Sign good contracts. Let your youth develop the country. You know, locally. From there we go nationally. From there we go continentally. The whole Africa. You know, and the Sahel region is so in the blueprint. We had leaders that expressed this. So is the blueprint how we go forward. And all of you conniving snakes of African leaders, don't want to see Africa, get out of the way. Your time is up.
Yeah.
You know, get out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that is it from us, guys. The Chat TV. Thank you for watching, and
Yeah.
let us know what you think in the comments. And yes,
Always appreciate the love, you know.